अब बच्चे खुश और मम्मी भी। कारवां मिनी किड्स।
The False Friend. In a jungle, a crow and a deer had become good friends. Once, the crow found out that a jackal had befriended the deer. The crow got worried for his friend. He advised the deer to stay away from the jackal. He said, "You should not trust jackals. They are very cunning." The deer did not pay heed to this warning. The jackal took the deer to a field one day. The deer fell in a trap there and was caught. He asked the jackal to help him. The jackal laughed at him. He said, "Now I will go and tell the farmer about you. He will be happy to kill you. In return, I will also get a piece of you to eat." Meanwhile, the crow also heard the deer's screams. He went to the field to help him. The deer told the story to the crow. The crow thought of a plan and asked the deer to act dead when the farmer came. The farmer came to the spot with a gun, but found the deer lying dead in the trap. He opened the trap door to check. The moment he did this, the deer got up and quickly ran away. The angry farmer then started hitting the fox and shooed him away. The Fawn and His Mother. A mother was walking in the forest with her young fawn. The young fawn seemed very curious. He asked, "Mother, you run faster than many animals. You're bigger than a dog and are very strong too. You also have huge horns to fight with. Then why do you run away when you hear the bark of a hound?" The mother looked at her kid and smiled. She said, "You are right, son. But whenever I hear a bark, I lose my senses and start running immediately. It has become my nature now." Moral: encourage questions to help children grow. The Foolish Crow. A crow and a hawk lived in a valley on two trees. The crow had made its nest on a banyan tree nearby. He was too lazy and foolish to hunt his own meal. But he wanted to feed on the small rabbits living below in the tree hole. He used to see the hawk attacking the rabbits sometimes. The hawk would fly high up and attack them quickly. The crow's mouth watered every time the hawk ate a rabbit. One day, the crow thought that he will also hunt the rabbits like the hawk. The crow flew high in the sky and swooped down very fast. But the rabbit noticed the crow coming, as there is a difference between a hawk and a crow. The rabbit quickly hid behind a rock. The crow hit itself badly on the rock and died immediately. Thus, one should see their own capacity and skill. No one should be copied blindly. The Foolish Pigeons. There was a flock of pigeons staying in a tree. There was a hawk that wanted to eat them and used to chase them. But the pigeons always managed to run away. They were afraid of the hawk and were always looking out for the next attack by the hawk. After a few days of trying in vain, the hawk came up with an idea. It went to the pigeons and offered a suggestion. "Let me be your king and protect you from the enemies. There is no use of staying in fear like this," said the hawk to the pigeons. The pigeons were surprised by this kind gesture of the hawk. They agreed to make the hawk their king. But soon after becoming the king, it started killing and eating the pigeons. It ate them all one by one. Thus, some solutions are worse than the problem itself. Moral: not all solutions are helpful. The Fox and the Grapes. Once upon a time, there lived a fox. He had not eaten any food for the past few days. He was very hungry and tired. The fox was roaming the entire forest in search of food. He then came across a vineyard at the end of the forest. There, he saw a bunch of juicy grapes hanging from the vines. Seeing no one around him, the fox sneaked in the vineyard. Now, the bunch of grapes was directly above him. He was staring at them hungrily. The grapes were too high for him to reach. The fox tried jumping towards them a few times, but he could not get hold of the grapes. He still did not give up. He went back a few steps and ran towards the vine and jumped higher. This time also he failed. The fox was getting more hungry looking at the juicy grapes. He even tried shaking the pole which was holding the vines, but nothing happened. Finally, he gave up and decided to leave empty-handed. While leaving, he turned and saw the grapes one last time. "It's okay. I know the grapes were sour," he said in disappointment. Moral: one should not think bad of what they cannot have. The Geese and the Cranes. One day, some cranes and geese were in a field eating. They suddenly noticed a bird catcher approaching them. The cranes flapped their wings and easily flew away. The light weight helped them fly quickly. But the geese were comparatively heavier. Due to their weight, they could only try and hop to get away. The bird catcher caught up with the slow geese and captured them in his net. It always helps to be smart and light in a risky situation. Being heavy and slow will not help. Moral: smartness helps in crisis.